pay for the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I realized he lied, the dude, Mike, pulled me to the side. He's like, yo, he's a liar, telling me all this shit. He didn't know, and this, that, and the third. So I said, all right, I'll pay for the rest of it. Okay. And he was like, nah, I want to stay in it. So I said, all right, I got to pay for all the editing, but you can pay for the editing. And if not, I'll pay for the editing. But that's the only way you can stay in. So for some reason, in this person's brain, and then after I edit the movie, get a deal for the movie, he comes back and says, you got the deal with it. Yeah, well, I had to deal with UFC, some paperwork for it. I don't know whether I was taking a nap. Right. But when the movie was done, I went and got Little Dirk, Tory Hart, you know, all these people wanted to pick up, you know, I edited it at my house, I picked the editor. I just let him pay. That's the only way he could stay in. And I don't even know that it wasn't more than 50 grand though. So for that, this person is now saying that, number one, he fired me, right? And then also my assistant director, the guy Josh, which is hilarious, because I didn't choose him as an assistant director, that's who they had, and at the time, it was too late to get one. He never did the job as an assistant director. All he did was try to pretend that he was director, talk when he shouldn't, and have me have to tell him what to do all the time. But I could see that he was very envious of my life. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, after he presents this up 25% of service, he goes and pays the editor to give him the footage. And I guess he goes and re-edits my movie and has the assistant, my little man doula, Josh Weber, pretend he's a director. And what was this dude's name? Quentin. What was I just forgot the editor's name that did it. And I thought that was foul too. But and I guess once I heard that they were doing that because they were soliciting the movie under another name. And from what I heard, they had a meeting with the actors, like Columbus and all that, and really planned this thing out. But I haven't really spoke to anybody, but I don't believe it. I hope it didn't happen that way, but it would really be something that would hurt. But number one, as a director, you would never want to do that to another director. It's just not proper protocol. It's disrespectful. You know, so shame on him for ever thinking that that's acceptable in any race. But as, like, again, someone from another culture who would look and observe everything that I was doing, to really proactively try to take the credit for my work, for them to pretend because they put up some money and they were paying an editor that they owned the movie and try to run off with it, after they actually had told me that the thing was something it wasn't, that the movie, you know, was something it wasn't. Like, they breached whatever agreement we had, but we never even made an agreement. And then to pretend that they could fire me. They used my camera, my location, the actors I brought, I edited it. They did all they did, and then to try to control that narrative, I think it's very reflective of what people do that to people that can't defend themselves. So Josh Weber is a perfect example of a culture vulture, someone that watches you, doesn't even pay for it. He's in your house, using your stuff. He's so mad at who you are because he's not, that he thinks that he's entitled to rob you, pretend that he's you, and then sue you about it, even though it's all covered. I have it all on tape. I have it every single day edited, and I'll show it, and we'll go to court, and we'll do what we need to do. But more than anything, I want this to be an example of what a culture vulture does and how you defend yourself from it. You can see the envy in his eye every time he looks at me, and I tell him to mind his business and go do his job. And as a result, he was proactive, even as an artist, about trying to rob me. And then he's even like challenged me to physical fist fights on Instagram, like I'll fight you, like just to try to make me come out of pocket and make me look uncivilized. Right. And that's what they always try to do. Right. So I welcome the smoke. I want to go to court. Josh Weber, Tony White, and Mud Films, Mike Munster, that's his name, Mike Munster from Chicago. All of you, we can talk about this. You show your proof. Tell me how you could logically fire me and you never hired me. Tell me how, with your $50,000 or whatever you could show receipts for, is more than my time, my camera, how you could say my footage is your footage. And I have it all taped. How as a man, you could try to take credit for my art and my work, and then try to act like you fired me and you didn't put up $1, and then challenge me to fight as if I'm gonna hurt or dirty up my knuckles, or get my suit dirty, beaten on your face at 47 years old, so that I could look like a savage because I'm defending what's mine. how justified and entitled that person is to say that something that's mine is his. And the fact that Mike Munster, who's a man of color, is empowering someone of the other culture to do that. And this same guy, him and Tony White, have done this to other people in Hollywood. So only reason why I'm not saying their names is because I don't want their names out there, because I respect it. Right. But we all know who they are. This guy Josh is gonna pretend he's a director when he just, but anyway, I'm glad that we have a network and a platform to calmly showcase this as it happens. And he becomes another chapter in the book. I know he's scared every day. I know he's uncomfortable. I know he's ashamed of himself. And I'm laughing at him. But he's lucky he got this much attention because, again, the problem was it's not that expensive of a problem because he was pushing the issue. Now I have to deal with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show every single day of footage behind the scenes, turn it into a documentary.
So you have every piece,
every second of me directing in my house, on my camera, with the impression, on the understanding that we are partners moving forward, and that's me being nice to them. Because the guy Mike pretended to be honorable. So he was like he wanted to stay in it, so I was like, you can stay in it. You can just pay for the edit. But I'm going to choose the editor and everything else. But if you don't want to pay for it, I will. I don't care. And then he's now pretending he was a boss so he could fire me. And where's their contract? We don't even have a contract. So this is further proving how people of our culture and not of our culture continue to try to push our culture backwards by erasing our history, pretending there's someone they're not, and then trying to make them look violent by baiting them into a fight.
Who told you about the actors having a secret league? Was that something you found out?
Man, we talk about it, Because again, I don't like to embarrass our culture.
Yeah.
It was disappointing that they would do that if they did. But I don't want to talk about it in public. But I do have to, sometimes when people push the issue, I do have to defend myself publicly. It seems like the camera's the only thing that's safe. But on another note, we're launching a network. If you see things are getting made, we have showrunners now, we're evolving our business. And now we're going to really focus on that network game and making movie game. And, I'm sick of playing this small petty business game, fucking around and shucking and jiving. It's time to get that real boss bread and to walk it like I talk it.
What's your level of excitement right now for everything?
It's at a high level. Only because my dreams are coming true, because I can make any dream I have a reality by just manifesting it and focusing my energy and aggressively pursuing it physically. But as long as I have a focus, as long as my energy is focused and other people's energy is focused on the same thing, and it's in the name of love, if that's what you're fighting for, it will realize itself. So my dreams are now coming true on levels that I didn't even understand, and it's effortless. You have not seen me leave the pool in years, and the only time I leave the pool is to go to a bigger pool and a better view.
Wow. So what's the day-to-day? What's your day start like? How does your day start? As far as, are you early?
I get up I get up at 8 because I'm so excited about my life. It's like when your life is better than your dream, you want to stay up.
Yeah.
It's just I figured out how to make work fun in an environment that's productive. But other than that, my relationship with my children, my daughter's 19 and she ain't doing no bubblegum shit, man. She's beautiful, but she's doing a tour for a book with her mother. And her mother's company, a $100 million company that we own together as a family. We're a real fashion family. I'm proud of that. And even my son, we're on a television show that I've executive produced, and it's going into its 5th season, going on Pip Hop.
Yeah.
And to be able to see my son, and even though we go through our problems publicly, we monetize that. And we go through problems like other families do, and then we do what we need to do moving forward. The support is always there. So being able to be a father publicly is great for me. And getting paid for it, it's fun. And then all the other collateral things that are happening because of that. And then the organization that's happening. So after I get up at 8, I get on the whiteboard with Raquel. And what I'm doing with Raquel now is she's been, my woman has fought with me side by side. It's time for her to enjoy being a queen. She doesn't have to work. She wants to work, but she has to relax.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. It's yes.
But I know that's hard for her, though.
It's so hard.
Yeah. That's like somebody telling you that.
Yeah. But that's my job, my sacrifice. I want to feel the pain. I don't want her to feel the pain before. Because it doesn't hurt me. I don't react to things. See, people react to things different.
Yeah.
It's about how you feel inside. That's a reaction, but it doesn't make the case of what's really going on. So sometimes I may say something that's honest, and it sounds loud because it resonates loud. It feels aggressive. It feels disrespectful, right? It's not.
The truth is loud.
And then you react as if it's disrespectful. You even start accusing people of doing things that they didn't do just because it feels that way. So if someone says you're being too loud, someone might say, you just told me to shut the fuck up. Nah, it felt like shut the fuck up. Don't paint me out to be that rude person. So what I do see is how people paint pictures based on how they feel as opposed to how things are. And that's the reason why I have to keep that camera on. Because people accuse me of things based on how they feel. But actually what it is when you calm down, it ain't so bad. It's like how I talk when I talk aggressively about positive things and people say you're so arrogant. But it doesn't matter my tone. It's really exactly what I said.
The message.
And it's not illegal if someone makes you feel a way. Just because they did something that's honest and told you the truth and it's legal. But some people accuse you of illegal stuff because it feels illegal.
Right.
They try to react like it's illegal because it feels illegal, but it's not. Because your chemicals are spraying, you think it's justified to react as such just based on how you perceive it. And it's not the case. And that's basically been the story of my life.
It's dope. It's dope because it helps people take responsibility for themselves. You know, when they really look at it. If they're not reacting
can't
to it.
really look at it.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You know, people are used to patterns. And they don't give a fuck. If somebody teaches you to do something your whole life, if somebody teaches you different, some people say, I don't care what I